Genius Block, what do we got? Name, title, what are we doing?
Cool. So, hello guys, I'm Raúl Ramirez from Genius Block. I'm the director of digital innovation. And let me tell you a little bit about the story behind this project.
I know it's a little weird having this thing so close to your mouth. Trust me, it sounds a hell of a lot better out there.
Let me get used to the, microphone. So this project happened because we tried to solve our own challenge. So many months ago, we were trying to find a smarter way to invest in cryptocurrency. We made so many mistakes, and we tried to find a way to try to predict the value of the coin. So the team came from working with Fortune 500 companies. So we are managing a data project. We are trying to make sense of this data. And we are able to try to make really cool predictions out of this data. So why not to use this information and this experience that we have to solve our own use case? So going through the process to develop this idea, this prototype, we came across a bunch of professionals from different markets that expressed strong interest in, hey, what about applying the same AI to real estate or banking? Why not to do that? So then we stopped there and we start thinking about, okay, so what if we can create a platform where we are going to be able to create this AI component on top, and we're going to be able to deliver this type of solution to the masses? Because nowadays, the companies, they are working in silos, and they are having a hard time trying to create their own models, and they never work 100%. The level of accuracy that they are achieving is not exactly what they are looking for. So why not to focus in what you're doing good, and leave for someone else, perhaps outsource that to people that have the knowledge to be able to create these type of solutions?
So let me summarize a little bit and then correct me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So you're going to liberate data from silos. Specifically, you're going to start with semantic level data, right? So things that are spoken, things that are typed, things that are words, right? And then from there, you're going to aggregate that up from a multitude of sources. And you're going to try and predict, as a first use case, you're going to predict which way a token or a coin that's being traded is likely to move.
Yep.
And okay, got it.
That is one of the applications.
That's one app.
Is one application.
You could do it in other areas.
There are many different applications. So maybe the data set that we are going to be using is going to be something completely different. It doesn't have to be the sentiment analysis.
So there's a platform, and the platform's going to have an app that starts on that's a semantic level data application, specifically for token or coin trading.
Exactly.
But then there could be other applications. So talk to us about where you're at and what that looks like.
Absolutely. So one component.
Hey guys, in the back. Sorry, guys in the back. Can you take your conversation to the media lounge? Just trying to get a clean audio feed here. Thanks. Appreciate it. You've been great. That's so much better. Just want to make sure we get a clean audio.
So as you described, we are going to have we have one component that is the data, the AI data that we are going to be using, and the other component is going to be the AI model that is going to actually process this data and is going to give you an outcome. So at this point, what we are doing is stopping right there and try to create this ecosystem that is going to allow you to build AI applications on top of it and share it with masses.
And the customer for that first application, is that going to be institutional fund money? Who's the customer?
Professional investors.
So that's going to go, okay, so that's going to be an application that professional investors use.
Yep.
And they could be anywhere from, a couple people with a small hedge fund to some whale bot that's doing high frequency trading on a platform and wants to integrate an AI. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Charles, anything to add on that?
Okay, so when the CoinGenius platform presented, we had a team that was extremely good at their core competency. We immediately moved to the axiom of perform your core yourself and outsource everything else. So with CoinGenius, we've got a group of guys that realized they were phenomenal at building AIs, but there were numerous other functions that they needed to perform. They needed to purchase data, to go into their AI. They needed to sell the outputs of their AI. They needed to secure GPU compute services. And of course, they needed to market their product. They quickly realized that they weren't the only AI developer that had these needs. So the idea behind this token is to create an industry consortium providing a code base containing master nodes for purchasing data, for selling use of the APIs which access the AI, for purchasing compute services, and for the other common functions that all developers of APIs need to perform. The model for doing this is to form an industry consortium which provides several different code bases which anyone can download and license or stake using their tokens. The benefit of this is that anyone who develops an API for any purpose would be able to join their consortium by downloading and running the code base, which would provide them the ability to purchase data, to get compute services, to monetize what their AI does. But there are other customers. There are data suppliers. For example, if somebody operated a crypto exchange which has market price data, trade volume data, and other data, they could download this same code base, run that node, and use it to sell data to anyone that's attempting to operate an AI.
And there are roughly 700 exchanges like that out there right now?
Yes.
And there was 300 about 6 months ago, I mean?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Okay,
So,
you have an additional persona, which is the information consumer. If somebody's running a website and they like to feed that, this system also supplies that. Now, when you begin to make it easier for AI teams to focus on their core function, which is developing a great AI, and you remove the need to write your own software to buy data, to write your own software to sell what your AI produces, to write your own software to purchase the confirmations of your AI's outputs, then you have an AI team which has much lower startup costs, much higher chance of success, and this is where the consortium benefits its membership. Additionally, once you get them
because, sorry, but it benefits its membership because you're taking sunk costs, you're taking infrastructure build of code debt, and you're removing it, or you're spreading it out amongst thousands or hundreds?
Consortium members join the consortium to get software to do these things for the same reason they buy a copy of QuickBooks. Yes, they're consortium people, they're writing AIs. Yes, they could write a copy of QuickBooks, but that's not their core business. The core business of an AI company is to develop a great AI. Okay? Yep. The heavy lifting of connecting it to a market, of buying the data, that's not their core function.
Just like the core competency of an e-com business is to sell product. It's not to go build the muck.
Yes, or connect with social media networks or any of the other very heavy lifting tasks which everyone needs to do to connect to market, to connect to data. Why not give that to the consortium? Have the consortium do it once, enable 1,000 or 10,000 AI development teams to plug it in and use it immediately.
Where does a consortium, and I'm just trying to build connectivity between some of the other conversations we've had tonight. So Blaine's sitting here in the front row. Where does a consortium such as this, right, or any consortium, then become part of a marketplace,
Okay, let me tell you a story.
Like connect this to...
A real short story, it's not long, okay? An AI team gets together and they figure out a new and novel and much more effective way to do it. Boom, okay? They go. They join the consortium, okay? And this allows them to stake a master node. What does that look like? Well, they run out, they buy an HP server, they select to install the ClearOS on it. Because the consortium software is there in the ClearOS marketplace, they do 2 keystrokes. It downloads the consortium code base, it sets it up, it asks them a couple questions. They're done, they're in business. Their AI hits the APIs in the master node, and they're in the market.
That sounds pretty good. I'm just trying to connect dots here, but that sounds pretty good. So why wouldn't that work? Let's just play devil's advocate. Or what's the slower, stupider way?
Well, the slower, stupid way would be to not do this because, you see, since this is the code base is available for download.
That was a little bit biased, but I mean, anything else sounds slow and stupid.
Here's the mistake most of these companies make. They go in as a singular service provider and they try and own market share when they could provide a common platform and be a piece of everyone's market share.
Okay, noodle on that for a minute. Let that one sink in. It's 8:20 and you're 3 deep on the cocktails. That sounded good too.
4 deep.
4 deep, yeah. All right, let's take some questions. Questions on this? Questions on the consortium, questions on the AI, questions on the predictive analytics, the first app, anything? I know we got one more and you.
Well, I'll give you a question, Chris.
Yes. Give me a question and then I'll try and answer it back by hitting it to you.
This is why is this better than doing it by yourself?
Yeah, why is it better than doing it by yourself?
Well, the answer is.
Well, let's ask it. Let's frame. No, let me. That's a good one. Let me frame it differently. If I'm capital, and I'm invested in these guys, why is this better not doing it by themselves? When my capital's tied up in them and I want a return.
All right, it's pretty simple. It has to do with the likelihood somebody will adopt the platform and the code base. If you're my competitor and you hate my guts, you're not going to enter my platform under my brand name. By contrast, with our consortium, because anyone can download and stake our code base, you can get all the functionality of the consortium without going into business with us at all.
Okay, and if I'm the capital behind that, I just go run.
Sure.
Right.
Plus, as a consortium member, we tell the consortium operating company what support we want, and the cost of developing that additional feature and functionality is spread over the entire consortium membership. So new features, if there are 50 consortium members, cost 1/50th what it would cost to develop them myself. Now, this is not
plus they're inputted by 50 feedback loops.
Yes.
So I likely don't waste time developing stuff that other people have already wasted money and time on. Go ahead. Yes, please start talking.
Another point to add to that.
Talk to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another point to add to that is the fact that, okay, so we are going to create all those models, all those AI models, but the problem that we are facing nowadays is that every company is working in silos. So you create those models, they are extremely hard, they are extremely expensive, and at the end, maybe the level of accuracy that you are reaching is not good enough. By contrast, if you allocate those models into the consortium, what is going to happen is that every single member of the consortium is going to be able to use the model, inject different type of data, and over time the models are going to get stronger. So because the network effect, what is going to happen is that every single model that you're going to be creating on top of the consortium is going to get better and better and better. At the same time, that is going to be way cheaper than doing it yourself. So that is another important point.
Question from the audience, or we're wrapping this one and we're going into how we're going to go from proof of work and burning up all of our resources to proof of production and creating a whole new way to think about energy and any questions? Yes, Rich.
So on an AI model, it's really about training. It's about the data you train it with.
Exactly.
And there's so many use cases.
Yeah.
How are you going to focus your use cases?
So initially what we're going to do is we are building a really strong AI team. So we have, for example, the lead of the team right now is ex-Googler. So he was leading the big data and analytics for many, many years. And we are hiring more AI specialists. So initially what we're going to do is to work on this area and be the ones creating the first models. But what we're going to do over time is inviting other developers, to create to add their creation into the network. I don't know if I answered your question.
They're not going to want to compete somewhat. So therefore, you end up with training data over here with this guy and training your AI to do something different over here. How are you going to manage that? That's a lot.
It's a really good question, and I hope my data guys.
Yeah. One of the parts is that what the software, as we've got it designed right now, is it brokers the business transaction and allows them the freedom of movement to structure the content of the data which is being purchased for the training that's going to be done. So it in effect creates a marketplace that a data seller can go into and say, here is a global registry of AIs that might want to be consumers for my data. So I can look at prices they're potentially willing to pay. It provides me with direct leads, so I'm not cold calling. I'm finding people that are looking for data similar to mine. Then we can conduct a lower level discussion of what exactly that data is going to contain and look like, agree on a price, and we simply have to agree on the price and the content, and the consortium platform software takes care of the rest. The automation is there.
That answer your question? Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Genius Block and private sale. Where are we at? Private sale right now?
Yep.
Okay. And so institutionals, accrediteds only, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Talk to these guys. They'll be around. You're here through when?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here tomorrow and also Sunday.
Okay.
So
very good.